All right. So once you've got Zotero downloaded, the next thing that you'll want to do to make a reference section is you are going to need to load in all of the articles. So to do that, what you can typically do is over here on the left, you can have these different folders. And if you want to make a new one, what you can do is you can you can right click and hit new collection. And then you can call it whatever. So I'll put this as example. And now you've got this folder here. So after that, the next thing we are going to do is load in however many articles that we are trying to cite. So let me grab some examples. Okay, so I'm just going to huck a bunch of these from my downloads into this folder. What you'll notice is that as you load in articles, you can just drag and drop, or you can use this add function up here and select them. But it'll initially show the PDF, and then it will attempt to index it. And usually that will result in, well, here, let me we'll throw that one in there. Let's throw this one in there. It will slowly index them, and it should fill in all of this information over here regarding, oh, it's pulling in another one, and another one. It should pull in the year, it should pull in the publication, the authors, the editors, all that information. As you are creating citations, if something looks awry, it is really easy to correct on this end of things. But as soon as things are loaded in, the real big areas that you want to check for is that it has the authors and, importantly, the date. So in this case, the journal article doesn't have a ton of metadata. And so I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to add it custom. So in this case, it was published in 1995. So I'm going to pop back out. I'm going to type in the date. I'll do 1995. The publication was the Journal of Abnormal Psychology. So perfect. The publisher, American Psychological Association. And then the volume and issue is typically listed right there. So this is volume 104, issue 3. And then I think it had some pages in there. Let's grab that. So 411 to 420. And the last thing that we need is the DOI. Hopefully, was I clicking on the right one? Yes. So in this case, it's less clear because of the way that they used to print articles. The way that I usually do this is I just look it up in Google. So you can see my awful calendar. Perfect. Sometimes I'll even just go into Google Scholar and look this up. And hopefully, oh, this is the exact same PDF that we have. Let's just go into the main entry here. And it doesn't have a DOI. Lovely. All right, well, in that case, we will leave it, because I think it was probably published in a physical edition, and maybe, therefore, it doesn't have a DOI. I feel like I'm making that up, though. Let's see if we can find it at U of L. This is just sometimes what you have to do. There it is. Okay, so there's our DOI. Sometimes you don't have to go and find all of the information for Zotero. Another thing that you can do is you can just use this add item by identifier button. And if you paste in a DOI, which is sort of like the URL for the study, it will pull in all of the information that you would need. So I just barely tapped that, and it's already got all the information that we just custom added. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that PDF from the one entry to the other, and I'm going to delete this one. Okay, so now you've got a bunch of potential citations. What we are going to do is we are going to come over here and we are going to click this button that says Create Bibliography from Collection. And when you click that, it's going to ask you what citation style you want. It's going to ask you the language, so English. And then it's going to ask you citation or bibliography. In this case, citation means in-text citation. So we don't want that. We do want bibliography, so we're going to choose that one. And then in this case, I'm going to have it copy it to my clipboard. Because then what I can do is I can just launch Word or whatever program you want to stick it in. Maybe. It's trying. What's the hold up here? Okay, so we're getting our new document, and we can just Control V. In this case, it's going to default to the formatting that was just already on the page, which is not APA format. We want double spaced. And so we're going to keep source formatting. And then you just want to screen through and make sure that everything here is APA format. APA has a website now where you can just sort of see the ideal format, but typically what you're looking for is that it's last name, first name, yada, 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 year, title of article, italicized journal name, volume is italicized, issue is not, and then inclusive pages or digital pages, and then the DOI. I hate it when these are highlighted, and so I typically remove the hyperlinks, but you can also leave them. And so, yeah, just go through, screen those, make sure that everything is coming out the way that it should. In this case, this is a book, and so I may actually have to go in and revise this. But then as soon as you've got all of the articles loaded in, you can just paste it into one of these documents and then send it to whoever. So hopefully that's helpful.